Did Melania Trump's absence from the First Lady meeting hint at bigger tensions within the Trump family? Did Melania Trump skip the customary meeting with Dr. Joe Biden today because of more than just a scheduling conflict? The apparent snub was noticed when the former First Lady couldn't attend the event, citing a previously scheduled engagement. Her office quickly released a statement confirming that she had declined the invitation to meet with Dr. Biden. The public's immediate reaction: surely, Dr. Jill Biden was heartbroken. But could this moment point to deeper issues at play? This recent encounter is just the latest in a series of events that seem to reveal the dynamics within the Trump family, especially when it comes to Melania's involvement. As more details emerge, one might wonder, why does Melania keep such a low profile, especially when the spotlight is so often on her husband? Could there be more at play behind closed doors than just Melania's personal choices? Moving beyond the First Lady's absence, let's take a look at how Donald Trump has been handling his public image recently. A few recent antics have sparked plenty of conversation and criticism. For instance, Trump recently introduced a $100,000 watch to his followers. That's right, a watch priced at an exorbitant amount. This luxury timepiece was aimed at the Trump loyalists who could afford to shell out such a large sum. Is there a message behind this? Well, it appears that Trump is doubling down on his wealthy brand image, but does this alienate the average American? After all, a $100,000 watch seems like something that the everyday person struggling with inflation and economic challenges might find hard to justify. Jimmy Kimmel and Jordan Klepper wasted no time in mocking Trump's latest offering, and their jokes hit hard, drawing attention to the absurdity of such a product at a time when many Americans are just trying to get by. As Kimmel jested, the Trump-branded watch was the perfect gift for the MAGA millionaire who has everything except common sense. He humorously referred to the watches as Trump brand crap, joking that they could only show time in Trump years, a reference to his time in office, and his controversial claim that he won the popular vote in 2016. Trump, ever the showman, leaned into his new product with characteristic flair. On his show, he proudly introduced what he called the Trump Victory Tourbillon, a watch designed to be one of the best ever made. Of course, he assured potential buyers that the quality was as important as, well, ripping them off. But what was truly comic gold came when Jordan Klepper took to a Trump rally to ask supporters their thoughts on the $100,000 watch. One particularly passionate individual suggested that the watch should be made of freedom gold, a material that would be extracted from the tears of liberals. The rhetoric here was not just absurd, it highlighted how disconnected some people are from reality when it comes to political loyalty. It was as if owning a luxury watch would somehow signify victory over the libs. When Klepper asked one of the rally attendees whether they would rather pay off their mortgage or purchase the Trump-branded watch, the response was priceless. It appeared that some individuals were more invested in the idea of owning the liberals than dealing with the real financial burdens of their lives. And this moment, in particular, proved that the lengths some will go to in their blind devotion to Trump are more than just financially unsound. They can be laughably absurd. The situation only escalated when memes about the watch started circulating at lightning speed on social media. People photoshopped the expensive timepiece onto everything from fast food workers to iconic American monuments. One meme read, "For just 1,000 easy payments of $100, you can own a piece of American history that was probably made in China." This mix of humor and criticism only further deepened the ridicule surrounding Trump's watch. What happens when one of the most prominent and controversial figures in the United States continues to escalate the absurdity of his brand? Well, Trump chose to take things up a notch by venting his frustration on Truth Social, his platform of choice. But his outburst, filled with errors, quickly devolved into chaos. It felt like watching a child attempting to type with boxing gloves on. At one point, he referred to late-night hosts like Jimmy Kimmel as the enemy of the people, a sentiment that is both ludicrous and dangerous when coming from a former president. After all, what better way to undermine democracy than by claiming comedians are a threat because they make jokes about you in true comedic form? Kimmel and Klepper didn't let this go unchallenged. They immediately retaliated with their own witty barbs. Kimmel quipped that Trump calling comedians the enemy of the people was like a skunk calling someone smelly. Klepper, not to be outdone, suggested that perhaps Trump should just stick to selling his watches since that would give him something to be irritable about all the time. But the Trump family drama didn't stop there. No, the involvement of Melania Trump only served to add to the growing sense of absurdity. As her husband was getting caught up in yet another scandal, Melania's responses to reporters only heightened suspicions. Known for her icy demeanor and complete lack of emotion in public appearances, she gave a tone-deaf interview in which she tried to defend Trump's actions. But it was as convincing as sandpaper. She couldn't even look the interviewer in the eye, a move that didn't go unnoticed by body language experts. They remarked that she seemed more rigid than Trump's hairspray. In fact, she appeared to be saying "I'd rather be anywhere else" through her body language alone. Naturally, social media jumped on the opportunity to share their own takes on Melania's tone-deaf defense of her husband. One meme took her famous "I don't really care, do you?" jacket and juxtaposed it with a caption that read, "I really don't care about defending Donald either." The internet's response was swift and savage, offering images that mocked her attempt at defending Trump in an interview, turning her into the punchline of countless jokes. Trump's Twitter outburst only added fuel to the fire, and before long, it became evident that his attempts at responding to Kimmel and Klepper's mocking had backfired in the worst possible way. The comedians continued their barrage of jabs, while memes continued to flood social media at a pace faster than any of Trump's defenses. With every joke and every meme, Trump seemed to lose ground in his battle of wits, and it was clear that his $100,000 watch was not enough to distract from his public humiliation. So, what did we learn from all of this? It turns out that sometimes the best way to deal with a political situation is through humor. And as we've seen in recent years, comedians are often the ones leading the charge in holding the powerful accountable. In fact, a recent poll revealed that 60% of millennials trust comedians more than news anchors. When it comes to political information, this is an interesting twist, as it shows just how much comedy can shape political discourse in today's society. People are not only looking to their favorite late-night hosts for laughs, they are also trusting them to provide insight into the world of politics. Furthermore, it's important to note that political satire doesn't just stop at being funny. It has a tangible impact. In recent years, the rise of political satire has been linked to an increase in young people registering to vote. And in Trump's case, his push for a $100,000 watch only served to highlight the importance of voting in an upcoming election. His attempt to sell a luxury watch for an astronomical sum inadvertently led to an increase in awareness about political participation. So, in a strange twist of fate, the very ridicule that Trump faced actually helped energize a new generation of voters. In conclusion, it turns out that the best way to handle a political carnival is not to take things too seriously. Sometimes, the most effective response is laughter, and with this latest saga of Trump, Melania, and their expensive watch, it's clear that the joke is on them. Whether it's the absurdity of selling $100,000 watches or Melania's robotic defense, the Trump family has once again provided more comic fodder than they may have intended. The real question is, how long can they keep up the charade before their time truly runs out?